These long dog days of summer, I mean, we just made it through a heat wave. Mama was parched through this heat wave. I was hitting up Dunkin' every single day, and I will continue to probably for the rest of my days, but especially this summer. Dunkin' is helping everyone stay cool this summer with its lineup of refreshers. These drinks are packed with bold, fruity flavors and served ice cold. It's amazing. Dunkin' refreshers are the perfect afternoon pick-me-up. I like to start my morning with them personally, and then sometimes I go back for a second one because I'm just feeling crazy. They come in a variety of delicious flavors, including fan favorites mango pineapple and strawberry dragon fruit. And then for a limited time, there's black cherry and there's pink pineapple. I'm going to tell you something right now, and it's a bold claim, let me tell you, but I stand behind it. Pink pineapple will change your life. It is so good. It has me feeling like I'm sitting in a pool, resort side, just living, honey. It's so yummy. Try your favorite flavor with green tea, sparkling water, lemonade, or Dunkin's all-new limeade. I haven't tried the limeade yet, but I'm going to. Usually I get my drinks made with green tea and occasionally lemonade, but I do really like the green tea. Or if you don't want to build your own, try one of Dunkin's curated refreshers like the Cherry Lime Ricky or the Ultimate Pink Daydream. The Cherry Lime Ricky, scrumptious. I could drink like 3 of these a day. They're so freaking yummy. Head to Dunkin' today and find your favorite refresher. Dunkin' refreshers contain less than 1% fruit juice. Limited time offer. You know what's really terrifying? That unfinished college degree lurking in the background, just sitting there waiting for you. That's where Southern New Hampshire University comes in. With flexible online degree programs, there's no commuting, no rigid schedule, and no more excuses. Plus, they have some of the lowest online tuition rates in the U.S. Visit snhu.edu/morbid to learn more before your degree becomes just another story about what could have been. Chilling crime cases are mysterious, but finding coverage shouldn't be. With the State Farm Personal Price Plan, you have options and can personalize your plan to help create an affordable price so you can get back to cracking all of life's bigger cases. Talk to a State Farm agent today to learn how you can choose to bundle and save with the Personal Price Plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Head to statefarm.com to get a quote. Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state. Okay, you guys went ham sandwich and ordered so many lunar dials in the pre-sale there. Like, I was like, oh my God.
You became entire ham hoagies is what you were.
What's a ham hoagie? What is that?
Isn't it like a sub? But somewhere else they call them hoagies.
Oh, a sub is a hoagie?
Yeah.
I thought I was going to say a hub is a sogie. Well, I don't know. All I know is that the motherfucking lunar dial is going to be available on the Wondery shop starting August 1st. www, that's 3 W's, .wonderyshop.com. And that's starting August 1st. But if you're not one for the internet, that's fine. Because you can go out into the world.
This is my favorite part.
And you can go to some of my fucking favorite places.
Hell yeah.
Target.
Barnes
and Noble. And Amazon starting August 1st. And you can buy it there, baby. Play the game. Play it. Play it so hard.
Go get it.
Lunar dial.
You bunch of hoagies.
Starting in August. Hey, weirdos, I'm Ash.
And I'm Elena.
And this is Morbid.
This is Morbid.
That was AI generated.
I liked that.
Oh, no.
No,
never. Literally.
Never.
We're not those kind of people.
We're not those kind of girlies.
We're not robots.
We're not robots over here.
Sometimes I feel a little robotic.
Uh-oh. You glitched.
Dun, dun, dun. Everybody's like,
Gotcha.
That probably hurt your ears. Sorry.
That probably did.
Yeah.
I was just saying, speaking of AI or maybe just like...
Or lack thereof.
Or maybe just, social media listening to you.
Oh, wait. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I'm doing that.
You did. You meant to.
Look what I just did to my shirt.
Can you guys see that? It's wild what she did to her shirt.
I put a hole in it by accident.
She did. She put a whole ass hole into her shirt.
Damn it. Okay, Sims.
You're feral. But yeah, we were we were saying how TikTok listens to you, and apparently, according to Ash, I've been talking about The Sims a lot because I keep getting
talk about it a lot.
I keep getting Sims content all of a sudden, and I'm not mad about it.
No. What is Sims content?
Just people showing you their Sims builds and also showing you funny things that happen in the game.
Oh, okay.
Because there's a lot of glitches that happen in The Sims that are hilarious, and there's also a lot of like hidden places you can go and hidden things you can do.
Like creepy or like
fun things. Like you can like
go
inside of a tree, a fairy tree, and go to like a fairy realm.
That's
like
cool.
A hidden fairy realm.
I feel like your kids would love that.
Oh yeah.
Is The Sims ever scary? Like, do like bad things happen? I literally never played The Sims.
That's wild to me.
I used to watch you.
It can be very unintentionally scary because glitches happen and they can be terrifying sometimes.
Like how so? Like give me an example.
Like a horse, apparently one of the new glitches. There's like a new expansion thing out, I guess. I don't have this one, but I saw a TikTok about it. That crazy. But it's like horse ranch is the thing. So you can like have a horse ranch and the horses like bend over backwards and like walk at you like these crazy ass.
Like a demon?
And it's like a glitch in the game.
I feel like that's not a glitch. I feel like that's just like somebody in the office bored on a Thursday.
Probably.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's pretty fun.
The
Sims is fun. Gotta say, I think a lot of people agree with me. I know a lot of you play The Sims. I know this. Because whenever I've mentioned it before, I post something, people are like, hell yeah, Sims. So.
You know what else people play a lot that I've never played? What? And I don't think you've ever played it either. Animal Crossing.
I've never played that.
Do you remember during the panoramic when Animal Crossing just like took over the nation?
No.
Everyone was buying the Nintendo Switch. That's what it's called.
I didn't even know that.
Which Drew wants to buy one, and I was like, I don't know. Like, I don't know.
Be a gamer boy.
I don't know.
I'm not a huge gamer.
I'm not a gamer girl.
I was a Sims gamer girly.
Yeah.
And I do love a horror video game sometimes, but I haven't played one in like a billion years because it's, when. But
I'm not, and I never have been a video game girly. Like, remember when Papa and I was sick and he got me those computer games?
The Hobbit.
He got me The Hobbit and like an Ariel game, which I fucking loved the Ariel game because you just like put clothes on her.
Yeah.
Like it was like styling Ariel. And I was like, sign me up. But then The Hobbit, I was like, do you know me, sir?
But who took the Hobbit game?
I gave that right to her. She was like, can I play this? And I was like, yeah, get it the fuck away from me. And this bitch over here I was actually just talking about this recently. I was telling Drew about it. I think it was when we were talking about the Nintendo thing.
Yep.
But I was like, Elena overtook this fucking game. And past the point of me being sick, I was cured at this point.
Oh, yeah. She was thriving.
You were on level after level after level.
That game ruled. And I want to play it again. It was a cool game.
It was a cool game. Because I remember at that point when you started playing, I was like, can I play now? And you were like, no.
I was like, no, I've always been
But that was when we had a computer room.
Yeah.
That's
when a computer room was a thing.
It's a wild thing to think about. And the computer room used to scare me at Mom and Papa's house.
Why did it scare you?
It's a freaky ass room. Do you remember that room?
I mean, yeah.
Like the weird side closet and shit.
I think that room was my room at one point.
That room was also my room at one point.
I think it was everybody's room at some point. We all like loved to switch rooms all the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that was my room at one point.
Was that like your childhood room?
No. It was when I was like a teenager and I was like, I want this cool little room to myself. And then I was like, I don't like this room.
Yeah, that room's honestly, that room's too small to be like a room.
Truly. Room.
People like the way we say room.
Oh, yeah. I've heard people say that.
Because I think people say room.
I don't think I say it differently.
We say room.
Room.
Like room. And other people say room. Like, this is my room.
Wait, people say room?
Like, room.
This is my room.
It reminds me of Rune.
It reminds me of Rune on Gilmore Girls.
I think they say, or did they say room? We say room.
We're losing all.
They're like, who cares what they say?
Everybody's
That's
like,
not what we came
by.
Well, That was rooms, and video games for you all.
That was Rums, Rooms, and Runes with Ash and Elena.
Yay. I like that.
But you know what? This is a spooky,
it.
crazy episode. So
Spooky, crazy.
So it makes sense that we're being spooky and crazy leading up to it.
This case was particularly asked for by Dave,
By
our research
Dave.
assistant, Dave, my best friend.
We love a Dave.
We love Dave. It is the Smurl family haunting.
Oh.
And Dave was like, this is a goodie. And I was like, wow, so many wild things happen in this that like, oh my God.
And you know what? With a name like Smurls,
It has to be good. That's one of the things that I thought. That's one of the things that I thought. All right, so the story of the haunting really gained traction on August 19th, 1986.
Oh, in the 80s.
It was very 80s. But on August 19th, 1986, that was when a rather interesting news story appeared in the Wilkes-Barre Times Leader. And the article was written about the Smurl family home in West Pittston, Pennsylvania. And the Smurl family home was owned by Jack and Janet Smurl.
Jack and Janet.
Jack and Janet. But they claimed that's their couple song.
I was going to say that's their theme song.
Jack and Janet Smurl. They claimed that for a period of about a year and a half that they had been the victims of a truly insane haunt.
Ooh.
They said their home was infested with ghosts wandering the halls. They were tormenting the family dog. Demons were attacking the kids in the house. They were allegedly sexually assaulting the adults in the house.
Oh, no.
It was a truly wild story from start to finish.
Apparently.
Apparently.
I thought you said infested by goats at first, too, to be honest. But then I took the context clues later.
That was a pretty good impersonation.
I thought it was a goat that just walked in here. But it was just Ash.
Color me a goat. I don't know why I just like ummed at you that hard.
I appreciate it. Really like put us into business.
Yeah.
I feel like it was like an get to business.
So the article in the Times Leader, it got a lot of attention, and soon reporters from like all over Pennsylvania and even the surrounding states wanted to get an interview with the Smurls.
Oh,
This
of
is
course.
primetime media, my guy.
Yeah.
And the Smurls, they were happy to give one. But unfortunately, during these interviews, like people would come to the house sometimes and all activity would cease to exist. Like they could never show what was going on in the house. They could never prove that anything had actually happened.
I mean,
But
yeah.
even though people couldn't see what had happened with their own eyes, the press at first, and actually even the church, believed the Smurls. They were like, you know, I see what you're saying. I don't see it, but like I could see it.
Yeah, and like
happening.
I get that ghosts don't have media training. So I understand why they wouldn't come out.
Be a little shy, you know?
It's okay.
And I think the thing was like what they were claiming was so wild that the people who believed them were like, they couldn't possibly make this up.
Yeah, like this would be a reckless thing to make up.
Exactly. But after a while, though, people were like, the lack of proof is really kind of like tugging at us. And people started questioning whether or not they had really experienced any kind of haunt at all.
Oh boy.
So this went from like full blown, hell yeah, Smurls, I'm so sorry you're going through that, to like, what the fuck are you talking
Like,
about,
are
Kyle?
you lying?
Yeah. So people just started to chalk the whole thing up to a hoax that was created by the family for like attention and fame, and they eventually lost interest. But who knows? Maybe like something really did happen. We don't really know.
Maybe.
So let's get into the story and let's get into the key people involved. We got John James, Jack.
John.
James.
Jack.
So that's Jack Smurl. He was born December 19th, 1942 in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, to his parents, John and Mary. He was the younger of two kids, and looking back, he said that he actually had a pretty ideal childhood. Spent a lot of time outside with friends. They would, you know, go exploring. They'd play sports. They'd adventure through the woods in the area.
Yeah.
I literally wrote,
you know,
side note, isn't it fucking wild that kids just used to go off and play in the woods?
yeah, I used to play in the woods.
You used to play in the woods?
Yeah.
In the 80s, they played in the... Well, yeah, I guess you grew up in more than 90s.
Yeah, it was like late 80s, early 90s. We would play in the woods.
I didn't even know that you played in the
Yeah.
woods. I was going to say, we were talking to Ma about that recently, and she would play in the woods.
Oh, yeah. The woods was the shit before everybody came and made it awful.
I know. We went to, like, woods parties in high school, but we never, like, played in the woods.
So
Like, as a
technically,
child.
you played in the woods, quote unquote.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
But, wow.
Yeah.
But overall, though, Jack, he was said to be a really easygoing kid. He was smart, got along with his peers, and everybody in high school really liked him. And he went to a Catholic high school in Wilkes-Barre called St. Mary's. Now, even though he did well in school and he was clearly a pretty smart kid, after he graduated from high school, Jack was kind of just done with the whole school thing, which is
some people are
relatable.
Yeah.
But he just wanted like some kind of excitement. He wanted a big adventure and he wanted to go see more of the world than just Pennsylvania where he lived.
Yeah.
So in the early 60s, pretty much the best way to guarantee traveling was to join the military. So that's what Jack did. And he served in the Navy from June of 1960 until his honorable discharge in 1965. So he got a lot of travel time under his belt.
Look at him.
And it turned out that his personality, the fact that he was a worker, like he had a strong work ethic, and he was very attentive to rule following, it made him an excellent serviceman. So he did really well during his Navy years. And while he was enlisted, he trained as an, I'm going to try this, electroconclusive therapy technician.
Ooh.
It was more intimidating than I thought. But it turned out that was another thing he was really good at. And he was naturally empathetic and had like a lot of compassion when it came to people struggling with their mental health. So this work was just as rewarding as his time in the Navy was.
Oh.
Now, once he was discharged, he had big dreams of settling down, wanted to get married, wanted to start a family. And it just so happened that during his time in the Navy, he had met a girl named Janet.
I know her.
I do too. He thought she would be the perfect girl to eventually marry. He was a little bit older, and Janet was in high school when they met. But despite the age difference, Jack and Janet hit it off immediately.
Oh.
Janet was very into school. She was kind of like a bookworm. Robert Curran, who wrote The Haunted, One Family's Nightmare, put it that Janet, quote, had no interest in the drugs or promiscuity favored by the hippie movement.
Oh, yeah. Fuck those people.
Fuck the hippies.
Yeah.
AKA my people. So Janet was not like that, and neither was Jack, so that's why they kind of meshed so well together. Getting paid twice a month doesn't mean money is scarce. It just feels that way. That feeling makes you do weird stuff, like putting things on a card you didn't need to. Earnin removes that feeling. With Earnin, you can access up to $150 per day of money you've already earned, plus up to $1,000 between paychecks. Standard transfers take 1 to 2 business days with no mandatory fees, and expedited transfers start at $3.99 and cap at $5.99. 5 million people are already on it, and honestly, it's wild it didn't exist sooner. Download Earnin on the App Store or Google Play, spelled like earning money without the G. Type in Morbid under podcast when you sign up. It'll really help the show. Earnin is a financial technology company, not a bank. Access limits are based on your earnings and risk factors. Standard cash outs take 1 to 2 business days with no mandatory fees. Expedited transfers available for a fee. Tips are voluntary and don't affect the service. Available in select states. Terms and restrictions apply. Visit earnin.com for full details. Chilling crime cases are mysterious, but finding coverage shouldn't be. With the State Farm Personal Price Plan, you have options and can personalize your plan to help create an affordable price so you can get back to cracking all of life's bigger cases. Talk to a State Farm agent today to learn how you can choose to bundle and save with the Personal Price Plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Head to statefarm.com to get a quote. Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state. Now, their initial meeting was actually pretty brief, but Jack just couldn't get Janet off of his mind as he finished his years on the service. So he was really thrilled when they met up again by happenstance at the 1967 company Christmas party for Topps Chewing Gum. They actually both worked there, but in different departments.
Oh, wow.
And they didn't realize it until they met at the Christmas party.
Oh, shit.
So it kind of seems like they were like meant to be a little bit.
Yeah, go to those holiday parties, guys.
I used to fucking love my company's holiday party.
Some of them are fun.
Some of them are fun. So like Jack, Janet, she was also raised a devout Catholic, so they had similar morals and values, and they bonded over those. And like I said, their personalities just really seemed to complement each other's. So they dated for 1 year, and then they decided to get married in this massive Catholic ceremony. Looking back on their relationship, Janet said, "I think I knew right away. I really liked the way he presented himself and the respect he had, not just for me, but all the things I valued." And
I like the way you move.
That's really
what she
sweet.
said.
I think she was like, I like God and you do
values.
too, and the church is awesome and we like it together.
Same thing.
Morals. They were
Same
like,
thing.
OMG.
OMG morals.
Oh, have those? Me too.
Yeah, we love those.
Yeah. So Jack and Janet weren't the couple like out and about at parties. They weren't joining in on protests that a lot of people their age were joining in on at this time period. But they were just, readying themselves to make a family. Jack said
vibing.
They were just vibing, making plans for a fam. And Jack said, we both wanted a family and we both wanted to make sure that the family would be raised properly. Just good old Catholic folk.
Okay.
So the early years of Jack and Janet's marriage went really well. It was particularly pleasant. Jack was ever the hard worker. He got a promotion and a pay raise. And by the end of the 60s, Janet had given birth to the couple's 2 daughters, Dawn and Heather, which I think are really pretty names.
Yeah.
Dawn and Heather. Yeah. Now, Janet had left work to be a full-time mom, and she said she saw it as not only, quote, her sacred responsibility, but a privilege as well.
That's cute.
So she really loved being a mama.
That.
Now, as a young couple with 2 children it wasn't always easy to make ends meet on one income. So the family ended up moving in with Jack's parents, John and Mary Smurl, into their house in Wilkes-Barre. Now, living with Jack's parents, that's hard to say, and it makes you feel like you're saying it wrong.
Yeah, it is hard.
Jack's parents.
Jack's parents. It's because of the 2 S's.
This is
Also, how biblical of them is what I meant to say. John and Mary. I didn't. For some reason, that didn't hit before.
good old Catholic folk.
Just whoop, just hit.
Yep.
I was like, oh, Bible.
Exactly. And then we got John and Janet.
Yeah,
Janet's
Janet from
in
the Bible.
somewhere, but I don't know. Janet from the Bible. Why
Janet was at the Last
funny?
Supper, right? I think she was one of them.
Wasn't that like only men?
Who knows? I don't fucking know.
I think it was dudes.
Probably.
I think it was a guy's night.
I think it was dudes just being bros.
It was Saturday.
It was for the boys.
So they move in with John and Mary. Not the Christ kind, but the other ones. Living with Jack's parents meant that he and Janet could save money to buy their own house, and they also had John and Mary around to help with the kids, so that was an added bonus.
With the kiddos.
With the kids.
The little chickadoos.
Little chickadees, chickadettes. But unfortunately, the plan hit a major snag in the summer of 1972 when Hurricane Agnes swept through the East Coast.
Hurricane Agnes
Bitch.
sounds like a bitch.
She was a bitch.
Like my grandmother's name was Agnes, so
My
I'm allowed to say
grandmother's
that.
name was Agnes.
But she was apparently awesome, though.
yeah, she
I
was
didn't get to
the
meet her.
tits.
But like, I don't know, a Hurricane Agnes feels like she means business.
Yeah, she does. Sorry.
Like
if
you don't
heard my
come in
cup.
being like, hello, I'm Hurricane Agnes.
I'm just gonna rain a little
Yeah,
bit.
no, you look like you fuck shit up.
Yeah, you fuck shit up.
Yeah, it's
and she
true.
did, actually.
Oh,
the
man.
storm caused billions of dollars in damage.
Really?
And it actually, on a more serious note, it actually killed over 100 people.
I didn't even know. I have to look up this storm. I didn't know that.
I hadn't heard of it either, actually.
Because I think the first major hurricane in my life, I think was Hurricane Bob. I think it was on the East Coast.
The one that sticks out to me the most is Ida, but she may have been recently.
I think she was recent. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. I get them confused. But Hurricane Agnes, I have not heard of. I'll have to look it up.
Me either. But so it was a really devastating hurricane for the area. But luckily, the Smurls, they were lucky in the sense that they didn't suffer nearly as much property damage as others did, and they were actually able to fix much of the damage. But what did happen to them was that the house was actually seized by the city through eminent domain.
Oh, shit. Isn't that when like they can turn it into like a hospital?
Or
during
they
the
can turn
Civil
it into
War
like
or
something. They can
Wasn't
turn
that
it
what
into
that
like
was?
something for the city. Now that's the thing. I was like, I'm not really sure how all of that works. But Dave thought that the property was so ruined that they were probably tearing down the area and redeveloping. So the city kind of like took it back.
Could take it.
And
Wow, that's wild.
But either way, now the family was forced to find a new home that could accommodate the entire Smurl family, Jack's parents included.
Yeah,
so that's
that's
6 people.
That's a lot of people to have to find shelter for.
Exactly. Now, luckily, though, it actually didn't take long for Jack and Janet to find exactly what they were looking for in a duplex at 330 Chase Street in the small town of West Pittston, Pennsylvania, about half hour outside of Scranton.
Scranton. I
literally wrote cue Elena office reference here.
You know.
No, I
You
don't.
know, you all know. I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to everyone else. I know you don't
She
know.
wasn't talking to me. Is it me, Jesus?
No, it's you, Jim.
What?
Don't worry about it.
So in the fall of 1973, when the Smurls bought the house, West Pittston, it really seemed to be like the perfect area for them. The town was filled with a lot of hardworking young people, a lot like Jack and Janet, and most of them were like working class people, again, just like Jack and Janet. So once they moved in, they wasted no time getting settled. And as the quintessential homemaker, stay-at-home mama of two, Janet got active in this community, which this is impressive, actually. She worked to establish a girls' softball league.
Whoa.
She joined a local chapter of Students Against Drunk Driving, and she spearheaded the town's Cherry Blossom Festival.
Damn, Janet.
Which I was like, okay, Janet. What's your wig made of?
All right, Janet.
Your mom's chest hair. I had to fit it in there somehow.
Amazing. What's your wig made of?
Cherry blossoms from the festival I spearheaded. That's
Hell
what Janet
yeah.
would have said.
That's right.
Now,
Good for
meanwhile,
her.
Jack was, I know, seriously, he was doing really well too. He was moving up the corporate ladder at Tops to a middle management position, and he joined the local Lions Club.
Damn, look at him.
know.
Assistant to the regional manager and everything.
That's office.
Yeah, it is.
So years later, Jack and Janet, they looked back on those early years living in that home on Chase Street, and they actually agreed that they were some of the happiest times in their marriage, especially in light of all the chaos that followed.
Uh-oh.
So when they found their duplex on Chase Street, like I said, seemed to have everything they wanted in a home. As a duplex, it could easily accommodate Jack's parents while still having more than enough space for everybody else. So actually, Jack ended up selling his parents their side of the living space for $4,000, which would be about $25,000 now, which, like, that's a fucking deal on a whole ass home.
On a whole ass home.
So when they bought the house, Jack and Janet didn't really know much about the owner. All they knew about him was that he was an elderly man who had been renting the property out for years. But otherwise, the house passed all the standard inspections and all the major utilities, plumbing, electric, foundation, roof, yada, yada, yada. They all seemed to be in perfect working order, which made the house feel like a steal at just $10,000.
Damn.
Yeah. I forgot to put in the translation of that, like what it would be today.
I could see you were like, I want to know how much that is.
Yeah, I forgot to put it in.
It's okay.
But perhaps there was a reason that it was that cheap.
Perhaps there was.
Dun dun dun!
I'm ready to find out what it was.
So the first strange occurrence anybody in the Smurl family can remember actually happened in January of 1974, just a few months after they moved into the house. Mary had recently bought a large red carpet for her and John's side of the house. But when the rug was delivered to the house and rolled out on the floor, they were pretty disappointed because right in the middle, there was a huge dark stain that obviously wasn't there when Mary had bought it.
Huh.
So she was able to get the stain out of the rug. She just used like regular old carpet cleaner. But a few days later, it inexplicably returned in the exact same spot. Almost like she had never removed it in the first place.
Huh.
So they ended up throwing away the carpet and they just didn't think much of it. They were like, well, that was fucking weird, but maybe I didn't get all of it out.
Huh?
Like maybe it dried weird, you know?
Yeah.
They were just overall confused about the whole thing. But I should say here that the timeline of the Smurl family haunt shifts around a lot. Because it seems like when they first went to the press, they said the whole thing lasted about a year and a half. But then the timeline shifts again and again throughout the entire story. And I think that was part of the reason why people started to have doubts.
Okay. I think, like, obviously a real, like, true haunting where you have this evidence and you catch things on tape and, like, catch things on, you know, video and all that. That is fascinating and awesome. And that's, like, my favorite kind.
Mm-hmm.
But there's something fascinating about one where you question whether a whole fucking family, including adults,
Are like
make
making
shit
it
up.
Yeah.
Like that, there's something so fat because I'm like,
You all banded together.
why did you do this? Like, what a weird thing to fake is a
So-
whole haunting.
It's funny that you say that in the way that you did.
Huh.
Like, I don't know how to like reiterate
Ooh.
how you said it, but
I'm excited to see how that.
there potentially could be a reason that everybody
Oh,
felt this way.
okay.
And I should mention that we might not get there until part 2.
Oh,
Sorry, forgot to tell you that.
We're beginning spooky season early.
Yeah, bitch. It's,
Little
It's
kickoff.
October somewhere.
Yeah, you know.
So while the stain on John and Mary's new carpet seemed relatively innocuous, in the timeline that they do later put together, it was soon followed by a whole slew of issues in the home that they believed were supernatural forces.
Okay.
Now, just a few months after the rug incident, Jack said that he was watching the TV one night when suddenly the TV burst into flames without any warning
What?
or any sign of a problem.
You buried that lead.
I sure did.
Shit.
He was just watching TV one night and the television burst into flames, he said.
These ghosts came in like a wrecking ball.
They never
were
fell so hard.
They never did. They were like, hey, I'm here.
Like, what?
Wow.
And
that's pretty demonic.
That's demonic.
That's
or you would think like,
dark-sided.
that's given dark-sided, or
Yeah.
that's given faulty wiring.
It's certainly that's sinister wiring.
Sinister
That's what
wiring
it
is the problem there. But so that's the thing. Jack and Janet were like, we got some faulty wiring up in this bitch. Like,
Yeah.
what? But then they were like, no, everything passed inspection when we bought the house. And then that TV fire was followed by other small fires in the house. Their new electric stove caught fire, and so did Jack's car days after he brought it home from the dealership. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. There's a fire. There's an actual fire. What? Oh my God. Is that demonic? Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. It's giving sinister, babe. What the fuck? What the fuck? Oh my God. Oh my God. Should we leave that in? We were just talking about faulty wire and fire, and then there was a fire. Oh my God. I didn't even do any, I just stared. I was just like, oh my God, fire.
And I was like,
I was just like,
I was like, they're getting into this right here. Shit.
fire.
And I was like, oh,
I know, why did we continue to yell it in Southern accents? How did that happen? So that just happened. I'm like not even shitting your dicks right now. We left that in on purpose.
Yeah.
And in the beginning, it kind of sounds like I'm being silly.
No,
A fire just happened.
it was not at all.
We had it. What happened? Because you saw it.
So Ash was talking about faulty wire and
I
we
said
were
fire
saying,
multiple
Wow,
times.
that was sinister and all that. And then I was just looking at Ash because right now you can't see it, but I can. Ash is bathed in rainbow light right now because we have little rainbow
'cause
things
I'm
on our.
gay.
Yeah, because she's so gay. And so I looked and I was like, wow, she looks so angelic right now in
thanks,
this rainbow
Mom.
bath. And so I happened to look over to my right and I said, oh, that candle is really, really going. And then I looked and I was like, oh, that's a bonfire in our room right now. And it just like lit. I don't even know what lit on fire.
Was it like the paper underneath?
No.
it? No, because we have like a little candle, like votive, I guess you would call that.
Like a candle holder. And I think she just lit on fire. I don't really know what happened here.
That was so scary. And she was right next to Baffy,
She
aka
was.
Baphomet.
Yeah, like my little Baphomet
So
statue.
he was living over there.
Yeah, he was like, as above, let's go. But
Yeah.
I don't know what just happened, but that was
Terrifying. That could have
interesting.
been real bad. It was big. I wish you guys had seen it. Like, not like massive, but
I should have got control of my constitution and I should have taken a video of it while Mikey put it out.
I almost broke my beard.
I know, Mikey saved us all. I just want to be very clear.
I didn't move an actual
Ash
muscle.
Did not
I did not move at all.
When she says didn't move a muscle, she didn't even uncross her legs from crisscross applesauce.
No, I sure didn't. And I just went, oh my God.
She said, "A fire."
God. I forgot everything from Stop, Drop, and
I
Roll.
got up, but all I did was say, "Oh no," and stand over Mikey while he put it out.
This is
And
true.
I did open the door.
Did you just like it?
Yeah.
I blew really hard.
Yeah.
I almost burnt my beard.
Oh my God, I'm glad you didn't burn your beard. Okay.
But yeah, that just happened. So that was interesting. I'm glad we could take you guys along for that ride. But we're okay now.
Well,
It smells a little crispy in here, but we're all
it does
right.
smell a little crispy in here. It smells like good though.
Yeah.
It's like crispy candle.
It's bonfire.
It's a bonfire. That just makes me think of Childish Gambino, but I'm not gonna sing that. So, anyways, Donald Glover. No, I'm just kidding. So yeah, fire at the Smurl residence, cars, electric stoves, TVs, the whole nine. But to the Smurls, the first few unfortunate events in their home, they just kind of dismissed them as like surprise. This is what makes me lol. They dismissed it as surprises that come along with being first-time homeowners.
Yeah.
When I became a first-time homeowner, my car didn't burst into flames, nor did my television.
No.
So, like, I wouldn't chalk that up to that.
It definitely didn't happen to me either, but, everyone's experience is different, I suppose.
It is. Wow, it really does smell crispy in here.
It does.
But anyway, some of the issues like, wiring, if that was the case, leaky plumbing, those things probably could have been the result of them buying a house with a pretty long history of unknown repairs.
Yeah.
So they chalked it up to that for a minute.
I see why you don't want to immediately assume it is, the Dark Lord.
Yeah, no, I never want to go in with assumptions that it's the Dark Lord. I would like to avoid that at all costs.
I can understand.
But here's the thing. There was continuing to avoid the Dark Lord. Sorry, Baffy. There was also the fact that when these small problems would come up, usually it was Jack or John, his father, that would fix them. And neither of them had any handyman experience, really. So, that could have led to more issues.
Yeah.
But John and Janet, they eventually became convinced that there was a lot more to it. After they had installed a new sink and tub into their bathroom, they described it as looking, quote, as if the talons of some frenzied beast had clawed at the porcelain.
Ooh.
But maybe they had just scratched it all up during the installation.
Maybe.
Or maybe it was the talons of a frenzied beast. I don't know.
You don't know.
I don't know.
I wasn't there.
That's the thing. So a lot of the unfortunate events in the beginning, in the early years, could be chalked up to, poor craftsmanship and shoddy work. But that kind of explanation would not cover the sudden change in behavior of the Smurls' oldest daughter, Dawn. In 1975, she started regularly going into her parents' room in the middle of the night and telling them that she had, quote, just seen people floating around her room.
Ooh.
Now, each time they would go into her room and look around, but find nothing out of the ordinary.
They didn't see people floating.
Unfortunately, no.
No.
Or maybe fortunately for them, but, I would find that unfortunate.
Yeah.
I'd be like, what a bummer.
I'd be like,
go to sleep.
You just said you saw floating people. Don't bullshit me.
Fake.
No, fake as fuck.
Fan. But almost every night, Dawn would come back and say the same thing. And she wasn't on acid. She was like a child.
I was going to say, she was like a child.
She's a child. So for the most part, the unusual and inexplicable things that happened in the Smurl house, they were just minor inconveniences, disruptions in their ordinary lives. Lots of random noises. Radios would turn on by themselves. Drawers would open and close. They would hear footsteps up and down the halls in the middle of the night. None of those things seemed to have explanations.
Yeah.
And whenever they would happen, Jack, Janet, and the kids, they would usually just ignore them because they were kind of getting used to it. And it became much easier in 1977 when Janet gave birth to twin girls, Shannon and Karen, I believe, or Karen. I think it's Karen, sorry. So at this point, the family had their hands full, so the noises were not something they were focusing on. Because now there's two screaming babies.
Now it's noisy. Yeah.
It's noisy. So, by the 70s and the 80s, Jack, Janet, and the parents, they were all so busy with the babies and just other life things going on that they weren't bothering with every little irritation or footstep that would happen.
Yeah.
But that would start to change in 1983 when the couple noticed an inescapable, quote, stench of smoke and rotten meat that seemed to permeate the house no matter what they did.
Oh.
Imagine if your house just smelled like smoke and rotten meat.
Damn.
And no Febreze, no incense, no flammable candle.
I was just going to say, right now it smells like smoke in here, but
not rotten meat.
Not rotten meat.
They couldn't do anything to fix it. And later, Jack would claim that the first time he noticed the stench was, quote, while he was kneeling before his bed saying the rosary. So it was almost like some kind of demon didn't like that.
Some demon saying, cut that shit out.
Cut that shit out. I don't like that rosary of yours.
It's very demon-y.
But at the time, he and Janet thought that there might be a rational, non-demonic,
Denominational.
denominated, prepared for total domination.
Domination.
Sorry, demonic.
Spooky cases make us crazy.
Crazy. It's usually when
Also,
we need-
fires do, I guess.
Fires make us pretty crazy. But yeah, I feel like spooky is usually when we need like a little slowdown.
That's
or like
that's when we really just shake out all the goofies,
Yeah.
you know?
So yeah, they thought that no demons, just rations and rationalities.
Yep.
So they were worried, though, that the smell was being caused by subsidence from all the heavy mining going on in the area at the time.
Ooh.
So subsidence, for those who don't know, because I didn't know,
I also don't know.
it's when an area of land, starts to cave in on itself.
Oh.
And I guess it smells. I don't know.
I was going to say that it's stinky.
I think I don't know why they thought it was so smelly. But Jack contacted the Department of Mines and he was told to check the foundation of the house for signs of cracking and crumbling. But they didn't find any. There was no evidence that this was going on. So once again, the Smurls were at a loss to explain the inexplicable happening in their home.
Yeah.
So, since moving into the duplex in late 1973, they had endured more than a decade of unusual and sometimes pretty frightening. This part of the show is brought to you by Anua, the Korean skincare brand known for scientific, gentle, yet effective formulations. The latest from Anua is the Retinol Collagen Gua Sha Cream, a firming cream with a gua sha-shaped tip built right in. Have you guys heard of gua sha? It's that viral massage tool that moves fluid and tension out of your face. Less puffiness, a snatched jawline, honey, more definition in your face. Retinol firms and reduces fine lines, and collagen keeps your skin plump and structured. This cream has both of those things, arguably the most optimal combo for that snatched, lifted look all in one step. I am obsessed with the Gua Sha cream. First of all, it feels so cool to the touch. When you put that on your face, it's just like, this is lovely. It's like a little spa treatment that you can give yourself. I like to do mine at night after I get out of the shower. I rub the cream on my face with the little gua sha. I'm sculpting that jawline, honey. I got it on the cheekbones. And actually, I had a facial the other day, and the lady doing my facial, the professional, she said, "Do you use a gua sha at home?" And I said, "I do." And I said, "How did you know that?" And she said, "I didn't have those little bumps in my chin or different areas like that." So she could tell that I was using the gua sha. And I said, "Oh my God." I just feel like I wake up less puffy in the morning when I do it the night before. But you can do it whenever you want to. I, 10 out of 10, recommend this product. The Anua Gua Sha Cream value set is available at anua.com, already discounted. Use code MORBID for an extra 10% off. That's ANUA.com, code MORBID. The Sherwin-Williams summer sale is here. Get 30% off select paints and stains or 35% off their newest product, Emerald Symmetry, July 17th through the 27th. Whether you're looking to refresh your interior or your exterior, they've got the colors to bring your vision to life. And with delivery, getting everything to your door is easier than ever. Shop online or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details. Delivery available on qualifying orders. Events in their home, small
real.
fires.
And that's a long time to keep up a ruse.
It is. And after a while, they said they just stopped looking for any kind of rational explanation, and they just came to terms with the fact that they lived in a haunted house.
Yeah.
And they were cool with that for a little bit.
Yeah.
They were just footsteps, the small fire seemed to stop. I guess they figured out a way to make it not smell like rotten meat.
Yeah.
But then in 1985, all that changed again because the activity took a dark and decidedly more threatening turn.
Ooh.
One winter afternoon in late 1985, Janet was in the basement just, separating laundry and running through her to-do list in her head, just stay-at-home mama things. And she was loading up the washing machine while she did this. And as she was doing that, she thought she heard someone call her name, Janet. And so she stood up a little bit straighter and kind of listened closer, just waiting to see if the voice would call out again.
Oof.
And she was just about to explain it away as, coming from the TV upstairs or something, when she heard it again, a soft female voice calling, Janet.
Ooh.
And it seemed like it was coming from behind her. So she whipped around to confront the voice, but like we know, no one was there.
Ooh.
So that experience seemed to contradict that everything Janet knew about ghosts and hauntings just from watching TV and movies. It was the middle of the day. All the lights were on in the house. She was like, why would this happen right now? But still, here she was trying to listen over the sound of the washer and dryer for someone to call her name again.
Huh.
And she said that she was just thinking about how violating it was having something in her house that she couldn't see. She was just thinking that when she heard the voice call out her name again.
Ooh.
And this time, Janet made horror mistake number 1. And she screamed at the voice, "What do you want?"
Oh, no.
You never do that, Janet.
No.
You never do that.
Nope. You don't say who's there and you don't say what do you want.
And you don't say be right back.
Nope.
But obviously there was no reply. So she made her way toward the stairs and she started climbing up them slowly, backwards, all the way to the top because she was fucking terrified.
Oh my God. When you just said that, for a split second, I was picturing like in like those scary like exorcism movies where they like throw themselves backwards and like spider up the stairs.
So Janet just decided to backbend her way up the stairs.
Whoa! In my head, I was like, "Oh my God!" You said that so casually, but no, you just meant like a normal person.
Like she was like backing up the
backed up the
stairs.
stairs.
Because
Okay.
she was all like
thank
freaked out.
Thank you for clarifying that for me.
No
because
problem. Anytime.
I had the wrong idea.
Imagine if she just like dead girled up the stairs.
Yeah,
Like,
you know,
like haunted person.
no big deal.
But as soon as she got to the top, she heard her name again. Like this thing was fucking with her. So she ran to the kitchen and she said she dropped to her knees and immediately started praying. And she said that she continued to periodically return to the kitchen and pray like that for the rest of the night.
Damn,
And I guess it went away.
that's exhausting.
One would think. So according to the Smurls, they had spent more than a decade laughing off or, trying to rationalize the strange events that occurred in their home. But this was different. This time, something spoke Janet's name. It knew her.
Yeah.
And it was in her home without her permission.
Yeah.
So that night, she went to Jack about it, and she was like, I'm not cool with this. Like, this is something I can't ignore.
No way. We're not on a first name basis here.
No.
This person think they are.
Exactly. Now, as a devotedly Catholic couple, they had accepted a certain belief in a paranormal world, but it was one thing to believe in it, a totally different thing to actually experience proof of it. So they agreed that they should start looking into options for help, but then the topic just kind of fell by the wayside and they continued about their day-to-day lives.
That makes sense.
So a few months went by and, after Janet's experience with the voice in the basement, nothing happened. But then something did happen.
But then it happened.
She had a second experience and this time it was way more convincing. So months go by, and then one February morning, after she had sent all the girls off to school, she was in the kitchen ironing. I feel like these ghosts don't like house chores.
No, they don't. They're
I
like,
think
what are you doing?
They're honestly just telling her to live a little.
Yeah.
But she was ironing, and she said that she felt a sudden cold chill rush into the room. And she said she looked up from her chores, like thinking, oh, she'd left a window open or something, only to see a, quote, black human-shaped form standing about 10 feet away from her.
Oh.
And she later said, to be honest, I wasn't sure at first whether it even existed. I knew there was a possibility that I was hallucinating or something, but then it started moving toward me, and I knew then that there was no doubt about it. The thing, whatever it was real. Very real.
Ooh.
Ugh. But before the mass started moving toward Janet, she just stood there, not really wanting to run or like move any kind of muscle that would alert it. So she just stood there, holding her iron in one hand and staring at the mass in her kitchen. She said eventually, quote, this is wild, a cape fluttered from its back, but what was most upsetting was that the face had no features at all.
Huh.
A cape.
So it was a superhero?
It was stylish.
Oh, excuse me.
Obviously.
Sorry, I thought a superhero.
I mean, maybe. Who am I to say?
We don't know who this is.
I'm not the local authority.
I'm not either.
On big,
It could be
masked
either.
figures.
It could be a stylish superhero. You know?
Look at that.
We don't know.
So she said the thing didn't appear to be a solid mass. She could kind of see through it slightly. And she said it was the height of an average man. But all of the sudden, the shape began moving toward her. And she's just standing there frozen in place with shock. And it just kind of like moves through her, like moves like,
No.
you know?
Nope.
Now,
I don't.
So
I don't want to.
You know how that happens?
Yeah,
like you'll just be ironing
you
and then
know?
like you just let the mass like move
just
through you.
just move right through you.
You don't know about that?
No, I don't.
Me either. But Janet does. And she said after a minute or two had passed, she finally composed herself enough to look around the room, but it was gone.
No, because now it's inside of you, I think.
I don't know.
I'm worried for you, Janet.
Or maybe it like went through a wall or something. Because
I also just thought about the cape thing. Stylish and superhero are both like pretty innocuous. You're like, that's fun.
yeah.
What if it's like Jack the Ripper? He's
Why
always
did
wearing
I
a cape.
quite literally know that you were going to say
In the
that?
pictures, he's always wearing a cape.
And it's wild because you have a Jack the Ripper like pub thing behind you.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's a black figure.
Yep, with a cape.
About the height of a man.
Ooh, I don't love that.
Hate it.
I don't love that.
Hate it. So a few minutes later, she kind of went through the house and like checked the other rooms. But just like the voice she had heard in the basement, there was no sign of this figure anywhere. So when she was sure that it wasn't hiding anywhere in the house, she went over to her in-laws' side of the house and knocked on the door, not really sure what the fuck she was going to tell her mother-in-law, but sure that she needed to talk to like anybody about what just happened. Now, for as long as Janet had known her mother-in-law, Mary had been this warm, comforting presence in her life. But on that day, there was something very off about Mary.
Uh-oh.
So the two of them sat there in the living room, Janet, just trying to figure out how to explain what the fuck she had just gone through to Mary, when Mary leaned forward and said to her, "I have to tell you something, Janet."
Oh no, there's something about Mary.
There is. So Janet could tell that Mary was really upset. So she was like, okay, like, yeah, tell me. And Mary goes, "Maybe you won't believe me, Janet. I don't know if I believe me. Maybe I'm getting old." And then she explained that she had been sitting in the living room praying a short time earlier when she saw what appeared to be the hazy black shape of a man come through her wall as though it had simply walked through a door from Janet's side of the house.
Damn.
The form.
The form.
Mary told Janet, "I was sitting here in my chair saying my novenas
I don't know.
when I felt some kind of presence. I looked up and saw this black form appear. It walked past me and disappeared."
Oh.
So they both had the same experience. Like whenever the shape left Janet's,
It just
like when
went
she
straight
didn't see
to
it,
Mary.
it went through the wall to Mary's side of the house.
Wow.
So
It
even
doesn't
though
really look like it's doing anything, though. I think
It's-
he's just passing through.
it's just vibing. It's
Yeah, he
saying,
seems like he's just observing.
saying, girlies, go to lunch with each other.
Yeah, be ladies who lunch.
Just like do something, you know?
At least
like,
he's not being, well, not yet. I assume this doesn't stay as docile
I don't know.
as he is right now.
I don't know.
Oh.
So even though they were both still scared absolutely shitless, they were both a little relieved that they both seen the same thing and, they weren't necessarily losing it.
Yeah.
It was validating to know that they weren't hallucinating or having any kind of episode. And that validation only strengthened Janet's belief that they couldn't wait any longer to do
Yeah.
something about this. Like this presence in their home was getting more and more frightening as the months and days passed.
Yeah.
But the problem was that Jack hadn't seen what his wife or his mother had seen, and he was still very much of the belief that there was a rational explanation for what was going on. I don't know how you rationalize like a black shape-shifting thing with a cape walking through your house, but
That's so Jack.
Talk to
though.
Jack about it.
That's so Jack to try to rationalize.
yeah.
Very
yeah.
Jack thing to do.
It is, I agree.
Yeah.
So a few more weeks passed without any unusual incidents in the home, and, Jack and Janet suspected that their ordeal was over. It just ended one day.
Yeah.
But their hopes went down the drain later that spring when a light fixture in the kitchen came crashing down out of nowhere, almost landing on Janet and Heather, who luckily managed to get under the table to avoid all the falling debris. But Shannon, one of their daughters on the other hand, didn't move out of the way fast enough, and the large fixture caught her in the shoulder and knocked her down to the floor.
Oh.
So Jack, he looks up at the ceiling and he was shocked because when he sees the hole in the ceiling, it didn't look like the light had just fallen. It looked like it had been ripped out of the ceiling, he said, by some kind of force.
What?
Yeah. So this incident reminded them about their commitment to find outside help for this problem they were experiencing, but they didn't know where to start. Janet said, after that, we spent hours, days, weeks talking to people who might possibly be able to help us. But unfortunately, a lot of the people that the Smurls reached out to in the beginning weren't really taking them seriously.
Yeah.
Because remember, this is like the 80s, and
Yeah.
everybody's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Not a lot of people had gone through this before.
No.
Now, one of the people that they reached out to just implied that maybe they were watching too many horror movies and were letting their imaginations run wild.
Wow.
And Jack and Janet were really pissed off about that.
Yeah, I would be pissed off too.
Right?
Yeah.
So by the late spring, the haunts in the Smurl house had escalated considerably and now included physical assaults.
Ooh.
This is strange.
Okay.
So, in one instance, Jack claimed that he woke up from a nap to find himself suspended in the air above his bed. And at first, he thought that he was still dreaming, but as he emerged from a sleepy state, he realized that he was very much awake, and after thrashing around in the air for a few seconds, he dropped from the air and landed back on the bed with no sign of what had caused this experience.
The only thing I can think of is he turned 16 years old and he became a witch finally, a la Sabrina the Teenage
But
Witch.
he had already turned 16 long ago.
So it doesn't work.
It doesn't.
So
I don't know if they have.
I officially don't have an explanation. That was my explanation.
There's no explanation. No, it's going to get particularly steamy here.
Oh,
So weeks after that, on a particularly steamy night in more ways than one in June, Jack and Janet had just finished getting together, if you're picking up what I'm putting down.
good for them.
I know, And they were laying in bed together when suddenly something grabbed Janet by her ankle and started pulling her from the bed, a la the movie we were talking about this morning, Paranormal Activity.
Oh.
So Jack grabbed a hold of Janet and he held tightly onto her as whatever it was that was trying to do whatever it was trying to do with her was trying to rip her from the bed still.
Oh my God.
He said it was like a tug of war going on. I was holding on to her as hard as I could because I had no idea what the thing wanted to do to her. But the harder I tried to keep her next to me, the harder it pulled on her.
Oh, I hate it.
Now, after a few more seconds, whatever was pulling Janet abruptly let go and just seemed to vanish.
Huh.
And it left behind a horrible odor and started banging on the walls as it left.
So it farted and then left.
It kind of did, I guess. It boofed and then it. I was trying to think of a word. Like
say, what
it
else?
boofed and then it banished itself. Boof and banish.
Wow.
Now,
That's rude.
I know.
Like that right after they finished their, moment together.
sure.
The
Yep.
moment together, it tries to steal her and then can't, so just farts on them and leaves. Like, that's so shitty.
It is. That'll really.
Wow, that'll ruin any hope of an encore.
Any
I
kind
can
of.
tell you that
Not
much.
even ruin like whatever just happened.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
I know. So in the months that followed, the assault on the Smurl house continued and got worse and worse. Day after day, Jack and Janet said they could hear the hissing of phantom snakes, drawers and cupboards opening and closing on their own, and heavy footsteps, of course, walking up and down the halls at night. So they were totally still at a loss for what to do because they're still even reaching out to people and getting doors slammed in their face everywhere they go. So Janet started reading about the supernatural in any book that she could get her hands on. And she also started keeping a diary of all the things that were happening in the house. And then soon, one afternoon in early 1986, a call from a friend changed the course of the Smurls' lives in ways they never could have imagined.
You don't say.
I do say. After a blessing by their parish priests failed to resolve the haunting, Jack and Janet were starting to lose hope. But then a new solution presented itself in the form of a phone call from Janet's friend Carla.
I knew it was going to be Carla who was going to break this wide open.
Tell John.
Yeah.
So Carla and Janet had been friends for years, and Janet had confided in her girl, Carla, about all the things going on in the house, and especially how much it had been affecting the family. Because at this point, it's affecting their relationships with one another.
Yeah.
Clearly. You got a boof and ghost. So Carla mentioned that she had come across the name of a professor, who taught at Marywood College, which was a private Catholic school in Scranton.
Scranton, Pennsylvania.
I thought you were going to do the whole thing.
I was going to, but I thought it would be annoying.
And then I almost went to sing it, but then my brain said to sing the Bluey song.
Oh, I mean,
which
you
is
can
not
always
like
sing
the
the
Office
Bluey song, but
But anyways, so Carla's like, hey, I know this professor who teaches at a Catholic school, and he has been studying the subject of demonic possession, and it kind of sounds like that's what you're dealing with.
wow, that's pretty awesome.
But
Convenient.
I know, super convenient. Getting scared is one thing. Getting a thrill is, well, you want more of those in your life. The Genesis GV70 is built to thrill, baby. A thrilling yet elegant design always makes driving the GV70 an exciting adventure. Its powerful athletic stance screams performance and turns heads. Everybody's looking at you, girl, or boy, or whoever. Command the road and experience a class-leading standard 300 horsepower. Oh my God. Plus, discover the different dynamic drive modes for all different terrains. Choose between the different terrain modes for whatever road conditions you may encounter. The Genesis GV70's award-winning technology and performance lets you drive with comfort and drive with confidence all at the same time. It's an exciting SUV with intuitive tech that can make your ride smooth even when the road isn't. And its blind spot cameras allow you to see what's next to you. It's like having eyes on the side of your head. That's pretty iconic. Its performance, by the way, is measured not only in power, but in how it makes you feel confident, sexy.
the Genesis GV70. Learn more at genesis.com and feel the GV70.
Need a boost? Sometimes all it takes is tapping into your inner cool. Icebreaker's gum helps you unleash the confidence within. Each chew releases a rush of icy flavor powered by cooling flavor crystals, sending a wave of refreshment to reinvigorate all your senses. Icebreaker's convenient pack fits everywhere, from car cup holders to backpack pockets, so you can find your cool wherever you go. Grab Icebreaker's gum online or at a store near you.
But after all the negative experiences that Janet had contacting like academics like this in the past, she wasn't very hopeful. She was actually kind of worried that it was going to be a waste of time. But she was like, you know what? My friend Carla is my good girl. I'm going to listen to her.
What do I have to lose?
Let me appease my friend here and give this guy a call. So she does. And the professor at Marywood College explained that his interest in the subject was purely academic, and he really didn't think there was much he could do to help. But he did provide them with the contact information of 2 people who could most definitely help.
2 people. Are you talking about Ryan and Shane from BuzzFeed Unsolved?
No, as much as I fucking love those 2 individuals, I'm talking about Ed and Lorraine Warren.
Oh!
I bet you couldn't tell.
I could never have guessed.
I said, I bet you couldn't tell.
Couldn't have told. You were correct in your assumption.
Oh, man. And he described them as professional psychic researchers that, quote, have even been hired by the United States Army.
Fuck yeah.
Which I know nothing about.
I don't either.
Look at that. Now, by the summer of 1986, Ed and Lorraine, they had built up quite a name for themselves on the talk show circuit and among certain circles, for their involvement in dealing with the supposed haunting of George and Kathy Lutz's house in Amityville, New York.
I don't know if you guys have heard of that one.
I don't know. Maybe you've heard of this one, the claims of demonic possession in the murder trial of Arnie Johnson.
Oh, have you heard of that one?
Elena covered it. And there was a bunch of other things that they were known for. So some people had faith in Ed and Lorraine, but most people were deeply skeptical even, about their methods and motives. And the more vocal skeptics and scientific investigators usually pointed to documentation of fraud surrounding the Warrens, like the Lutz's admission of fraud in the Amityville case.
Oops.
As evidence of their sus intentions.
Yeah.
Now, for their part, Ed and Lorraine always maintained that their intentions were good and that Lorraine had powers as a psychic medium, and those were genuine powers.
Yeah.
She said, we have a single message we want to get across to people. There's a demonic underworld, and that on some occasions it can be a terrifying problem for people.
Hey,
which, I agree with.
Seems legit.
Pour one out for Lorraine. Now, after a brief telephone conversation with the Smurls, Ed and Lorraine were pretty sure they could actually help the couple. So they agreed to travel from their home in Connecticut to Pennsylvania as soon as possible. And in their initial interview with the Smurls, Ed and Lorraine kind of ran through their standard battery of questions regarding the couple's familiarity with Satanism, use of Ouija boards, practice of witchcraft, all the activities that the Warrens said could lead to a demonic infestation. You know?
Yeah. Obviously.
You know, that. Now, as Ed Warren continued his interview with the Smurls, when they finally got out there, Lorraine started exploring the house, and she was accompanied by her friend Rosemary, who also claimed to have psychic abilities.
And also had a baby.
No.
Huh.
Maybe. I actually have no fucking idea. But I saw what you're doing there. LOL.
I picked up what you're putting down.
Now, the 2 psychic mediums immediately sensed the presence of evil.
Oh, no.
And you won't get that unless you watch SpongeBob. But it seemed to get stronger as they made their way up the stairs to the 2nd floor of the house.
Huh.
And after exploring the 2nd floor, when they reached the door to Janet and Jack's bedroom, they sensed that they would find whatever it was they were looking for behind that door.
Oh.
But they checked the bedroom and they found nothing in the actual bedroom. All that remained was to look in the couple's closet.
Ooh.
So they did. Now, up to that point, Lorraine and Rosemary claimed to have identified 3 ghosts in the Smurl home. 2 were benign and 1 was very angry. Now, later, when they were assembled at the kitchen table, Lorraine presented the profiles of the entities she believed were haunting the Smurls' home. The first was an elderly woman. Lorraine said that she was, quote, probably senile, but not violent. She's just confused.
Okay.
The second spirit was a young woman Lorraine described as, and this is her words, not mine, an insane, violent spirit who might want to harm you.
Ooh.
But she said the spirit could be, quote, dealt with through prayer. And then there was the third ghost, a man with a mustache who, quote, possesses the ability to carry out great harm.
Oh, man.
So Lorraine...
It's that mustache.
It's the mustache, of
Always.
course. So Lorraine
Causing problems everywhere.
Mustaches... what did I say in Buffy the other day?
They always tell lies.
Don't trust a mustache.
Don't trust it.
Never. They always lie.
Yeah.
Listen to Buffy the Rewatcher.
Do it.
Lorraine admitted that other than that, she received no information from this specific ghost at that time, or entity. But finally, they got to the fourth entity in the house, which I believe they found in the closet. And they said this demon, Lorraine said, was there to, quote, create chaos and destroy the family.
Oh, shit.
Destroy them.
Damn.
So
Total
once-
domination.
Prepare for total domination.
Domination.
Domination. And then do the sparky arm.
Mikey's doing the actual dance.
Fantastic.
Bring it on.
Now, once Lorraine had finished presenting, her spirit profiles on Bumble, just kidding, Ed took over the conversation. He told Jack, "It's like I said before, Jack. I suspect that the demon has been in the house, dormant, for decades. But one thing I know is that your girls reaching puberty gave the demon energy." Ooh, gross.
Okay, I don't love that. I don't even like it.
I don't even...
I actually don't perceive that.
I just don't perceive it.
I don't accept it.
He said, Ed, to Jack, he said he told them about his belief that adolescents possessed a ton of psychic energy that had the potential to attract and even activate non-human entities, leading to all manner of paranormal phenomena. Panera.
All manner of cheddar broccoli soup.
All manner of a you pick two. Are you getting a cookie on the side, Jack? Because it's time to end this shit. It's going to be hungry business. No, I'm glad you didn't. Of paranormal phenomena.
There you go.
He told the family, quote, "You should get the broccoli cheddar. You're like a battery it draws on for power. It's a real psychic explosion. It wants to keep you and your family confused and afraid. That's why it often appears to only one of you at a time."
Oh.
Which is true.
Okay.
So based on their initial investigation, Ed and Lorraine concluded that in addition to the 3 ghosts haunting the house, a demon had latched onto the Smurls and was drawing energy from the family. And because it was able to draw this energy from the family, it was growing more powerful and more aggressive, and it was wearing on them day after day after day. Janet remembered, as we listened to the Warrens and Rosemary talk, I remember feeling a strange combination of relief and dread. The dread came from knowing that Ed and Lorraine and Rosemary were confirming our worst suspicions. Our house had been taken over by a demon.
A demon.
And the rest you'll have to wait to hear in part 2.
Ooh.
But their house had been taken over by a fucking demon, y'all.
It certainly has.
And Panera.
It has. And yeah, cheddar broccoli soup everywhere.
That's the kind of haunt I'm in for,
I know,
as
that
long as
seems
I've got a
pretty rad.
lactate.
Seems pretty rad, but a little sticky and smelly eventually.
Smelly.
Oh,
Maybe
it
we
wasn't a
just
boof.
cracked the code.
It was cheddar broccoli soup.
When did Panera...
Panera.
It's fun to say it like that. Do you ever say Panera
I
instead
do.
of Panera? I wonder when they opened.
Huh. That's what we good to find
We'll
out.
update you in part 2.
Part 2 will let you know when Panera opened and if
So-
it was their fault.
So yeah,
Okay.
we hope you keep listening.
And we hope you
Keep it weird. But not so weird that you don't get a You Pick 2 after this, because why wouldn't you?
In the U.S., there's a break-in every 26 seconds. But when intruders step near, Simply Safe Home Security steps up.
Stop. This is Simply Safe. Police are on the way.
Using AI alerts, U.S.-based live agents help deter break-ins. Simply Safe, no long-term contracts. Save 50% on your new system with professional monitoring at simplysafe.com/SXM or with promo code SXM.
Outdoor deterrence requires a Simply Safe Active Guard outdoor protection plan starting at $49.99 a month. Visit simplysafe.com/licenses for alarm license information. Tennessee 2012.
Talk about regrets. We all know someone who's been in a car accident and said, I don't need to call a lawyer, only to regret it after their pain and damages were worse than expected. When someone hurts you, you deserve to be compensated fairly. Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury law firm, fighting for the people for over 35 years. Injured? Visit forthepeople.com/podcast. That's forthepeople.com/podcast. Their fee is free unless they win.